Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac Repentance, where today I'll be doing a Cain run. And Cain has been restored in repentance to his former glory of 7 or so years ago, possibly more, in that the lucky foot has now once again retained the ability to make bad pills not be bad anymore, at least the stat down pills to my understanding. And that's pretty great, because it means you can more easily take every pill in the game without the odds of anything really bad happening. And hopefully, that is going to work out in our favor today. For now, I don't really have a plan of what I want to do this run. Mostly just want to make it to the end, and we will see what kind of great things come our way. If we can once again try to go for no damage or such things, that would be wonderful. But all in all, let's just see what happens. We get the Papa Fly, which is an item. It's a part of the Lord of the Flies transformation, and that might genuinely be the best thing about the item, but hopefully the fact that he does travel around does mean that it's going to help us out in the long run at least a little bit. But we shall see, I suppose. It can be rather finicky to get items like that to work, and I'm not sure if he's dealing contact damage, but it looks like only the tears that he was shooting was doing anything. So hopefully that's not going to worry us too much throughout this run. Larry is surprisingly tricky from time to time if you have low damage, which we are very much on base damage right now, but so far he is cooperating quite a lot, which is nice. Hopefully we can take care of one of the two before dealing with the other. But his movement and his desire to fill the entire room with poop is making life a little bit trickier. Fortunately, one of the poops actually had a coin in it, so we can possibly buy that soul heart if the... Well, that actually works too. We can get one soul heart from Binky instead, and also increase our tier rate, which is wonderful. Let's see if we can get some more coins from this, but I'm not sure how poops work in boss rooms. There once was a time where poops in boss rooms wouldn't drop anything, but I'm not sure if that was in the original Isaac or actually since Rebirth. And if they've changed it or not, I genuinely have no idea, but it is one of those things that does make a difference in the end whether or not it's worthwhile to destroy them. But we did get some coins from this one, so either they changed it or it was simply a relic that I remembered from many years ago and never properly forgot about. Either way, we are well on our way to beating the basement without taking damage once again. We didn't really have a magnificent shop or anything. We didn't get any bombs at all, which that does happen from time to time. It did mean we couldn't go to our secret room either, or our super secret room. There wasn't even an exploding enemy for as far as I could tell. But that's okay. We'll just have to make do with what we have, and hopefully in this particular floor we can get a slightly better item room, possibly a devil deal with some great stuff inside it. And if not, at least we're having a good time so far. We got a battery in case we get an item later on, so that might help out. Just circling these enemies around the room and dealing with the ones that didn't break in half first, because they can take rather odd routes and therefore deal that damage to do that I'm really trying to avoid for realsies this time around. This time I'm feeling a bit more clear-headed, I guess, so hopefully that is going to affect my Isaac gameplay in a positive manner. However, there's always little things that can go wrong, and I will absolutely not guarantee that nothing will go wrong this time around. However, we are getting more bombs now, so that is lovely. There might be a secret room next to this room. Haven't seen my item room yet, and I'm thinking I have to go back for it, judging from how many rooms we've seen so far, because there simply are not that many rooms. Also, the Papa Fly is actively trying to shoot flies into me with his tears, which is not great. But usually the boss room is as far away as possible from the starting room. That actually could have maybe opened up a super secret room as it was to the left there, but instead it might be here actually. Might work out. Did not work out, unfortunate. Instead, I will look for my item room first before moving on. We have 7 coins, so if there is a soul heart in the shop, we might be able to afford that. Plus, if there is an item on sale, we can actually buy that too. Plus, if it's absolutely necessary, we could also just blow up the donation machine, but I'd rather not, and this is very good. That is going to give us a damage multiplier, which is going to increase all of the damage we get forever, so that's pretty great. There is the monster manual, which no longer works for just one room, but it works for the entire floor now, so that's pretty great. And the Bible, which has various uses, but mostly it gives us temporary flight, and that is going to be useful from time to time. But also against the mom fight, it is going to be rather useful as well. And this is actually not bad either, because it means we can redo the basement floor as well. And that can be worthwhile to just get an easier floor to do, really, and therefore get a few more items before moving on to the harder parts of the game. I'm not sure if I'm going to bother with it this time around, because with Cricket's head I'm feeling fairly confident, but fair enough. I'd rather have the Bible than the item that Baby Plum gives us, so for once I will actually shoot Baby Plum. I'm sorry, my friend, but sometimes needs must, I suppose. This is probably a little bit quicker with the extra damage that we're dealing right now as well, since that went very quickly. And we got the Basement Boy achievement, which apparently the no damage achievements do give you an extra achievements now, which give you items. There's Synth Oil, which is a damage up. And there is another part of the conjoined transformation, which we've only really seen. We haven't actually touched any conjoined things. Parasite, sure. Not sure why. I don't think I'll take either of these, because the false PhD, it has its uses, but not with this character. It actually probably only makes everything worse, thinking about it. And I will just quickly check out my shop, just in case I can get something on sale. However, the false PhD, it gives you a damage up for every stat down pill you've taken, and given the fact that we will not usually be seeing stat down pills with this character due to the lucky foot, I'm not sure if we'd really get anything positive out of it rather than just having worse pills entirely. So it doesn't seem worthwhile. I'm not really sure how it works with this character, but I don't particularly feel like finding out today. I will bomb this, actually, because I'd like to buy that deck of cards, even though I'm not even going to take it with me, because once again I'd like to try and get 3 stars item to unlock an achievement for that as well. Could have used that battery to get a different card, but I've already made my mind up. I could also do that dice room, but I don't mind actually trying to go for my boss rush once again. With the Bible, you can do the mom fight very quickly, and that does save some time in the end. Plus, we're not super slow this time around either, so I'm not really too concerned. I will probably do most of the floor because my consumable amount is pretty low, and I would like to get as many good things as possible through my item rooms and such. But we'll see what happens. For now, we'll just move on. My health is not amazing. I probably, I didn't have money for the soul heart there, so unfortunately we were not able to get that. Not at all afraid to take that, and it was a luck up, which don't think that currently affects me. There is an item there, but I have no way to get... I do have a way to get it. I have temporary flight, and this will give us fire from time to time, and that is just amazing, because fire deals so much damage in this game. So once again, I do not regret taking the Bible, because it does have some uses outside of simply doing the mom fight rather quickly, as you can see right there. These bony boys are not too much fun to fight, but with the flames that we are throwing out there, it's not too bad. And since we just got a luck up, this item does get a little bit better because it increases the chance of teeth being shot out of our mouth. And those teeth deal quite a lot of damage, so far things are looking pretty positive, even though we haven't seen that much health yet. But given the fact that we're just simply not taking that much damage, that's not too big of a deal, I suppose. Could get that coin. I don't really have a reason to save my flight for now. But let's just move on. Now, this character can actually become a little bit better from the start if you play a little bit of greed mode, because it is possible to unlock a trinket for this character to start every run with, which will allow him to open up every single golden chest without actually having to spend keys on it, so that obviously saves up on keys as well. Plus we'd be able to do our challenge room, which I believe has a golden key in it. Might as well take that, have no real reason not to. And that does make life a little bit easier, but I've been sort of avoiding greed mode because it's not my favorite mode. I'd rather just play the normal game, but at some point we will have to do it. But given the fact that we're not going to be unlocking everything for this character right now anyway, I'm not really too concerned about doing a regular one with him for now. There is a soul heart in the chest, which is wonderful. There is Lord of the Flies, another part. I might actually get that just for the sake of getting another part of that transformation. Touching it is enough to get another part, so good enough for me. And let's see what our boss room holds. I could look for the secret room first, but I don't actually have a bomb to blow up a shopkeeper, so I'm not really sure what I'd like to do in there. Although if it is connected to that curse room over there, which I think it could be, then it might be worthwhile if I can find another bomb somewhere. One makes you small, that's not too terrible. So I could use this key to actually just open this up, and didn't get a bomb from it unfortunately, but we did get another luck up, which is pretty good with our teeth item right there. And it is a little bit risky, I suppose, because I'm once again in danger of taking damage and therefore losing out on another no damage achievement, but I'm not really too bothered about that, I suppose. If I take damage, I take damage, and we'll just try again another day. But let us move. We have one bomb, unfortunately, and I will have one chance to even look for a secret room. I feel fairly confident it's here, but it didn't have to be. And there was a bomb in the secret room, so that worked out lovely. It means we can go into our curse room for free. It has 2 pills I can see forever, which is going to open up the super secret room, which is somewhere, probably here. Nope. Actually not sure where it is, but we can simply retraverse every single room we've been in, as all the rooms have been cleared, and eventually the door to our super secret room will open. And hopefully it will contain only the greatest things. Probably down here then? That's actually, yeah, that's a rough place. I don't think I would have found that at all if I had looked for it. And it has a bunch of red hearts, which definitely does have its uses. If you have the Dark Bum, you can get a lot of the various pickups from him that way, because he picks them all up and then gives you a bunch of things. Don't think he can drop black hearts in that room, so it is preferable to actually leave the room before getting the pickups from him, but this time around we didn't have that, so instead I will just sit here and try to deal with this boss. I'm actually going to use my Bible for this, because he does have a jump attack which puts creep on the floor, that red stuff right there, and I'm just flying over it with this. Now here is the Pageant Boy, which is money, and there is a perfection trinket, which you get for fighting 3... I think it's clearing 3 floors without taking damage. And what it does, it gives you plus 10 luck, which is obviously wonderful. But the moment you take damage, it gets thrown away and you lose that 10 luck immediately. Even if you find some way to consume the trinket, it will simply disappear the moment you take damage. However, it means we are basically going to be shooting teeth with every single one of our shots, which is going to make us deal a whole bunch of extra damage. So I definitely would have it rather than the other one which we had previously. But there is some danger attached to it, unfortunately. There we go, there's a secret room right there. Fire does destroy shopkeepers, which is a thing I tend to forget, but it is actually quite useful. But it is something you need to be careful of when there are spiders coming out of it from time to time as well. But so far, that actually worked out quite well. I could use a bomb. I could also just clear 2 rooms and then use my Bible right there. Also, the flames that are getting shot out of my face right now because of the ghost pepper are also based on the amount of luck that I have. So right now, I'm destroying the world, and it's pretty great, honestly. So let's take all of these coins. Hopefully we can find our shop somewhere. I'm willing to bet that we have to go to the top right to progress, but it's not guaranteed, especially when this room has things connected to it as well. But so far this build is ridiculous, provided I can get through without taking damage for as long as possible. That's part of the mom transformation, so I might as well. There's not really much worthwhile next to that, unfortunately, but it's a little bit better than nothing. And I might not clear this entire floor. I'm not sure if this counts towards the stars thing right there. 2 of keys, not terrible. Spawns a beggar. That's a demon judgy, but also not terrible, actually. Ancient recall to draw 3 cards, including the world, the stars, and strength. I will take the world for mapping on a next floor. I might blow up this particular beggar right there for the angel room chance because I'm feeling it. And with that, we shall just simply move on and try to get to our boss as quickly as possible. I would like to reach that boss rush again with this character. If I can get it with the 10 luck as well, that would be amazing, but not really expecting it. I'm not gonna pick that up just yet. And this might be a pretty big floor. I'm worried that we do actually have to go to the top right to reach the end, and we do actually. So the end is pretty far away. I will just blow this up for good measure because there might be good things, but unfortunately only a couple of red hearts. But so far I'm feeling pretty confident. I could have taken that stars card and used the Bible to go into my curse room and then teleported out with stars. Would have given us an extra curse room to check without taking damage, but whatever, that's fine. No super secret room there, that's actually surprising. It kind of looked like it might have been, but oh well. That's the way it is from time to time. Getting a lot of money, but unfortunately my donation machine has already jammed, so we cannot put any more money in that for the remainder of this run. Maybe over there? Also not over there, really. What a strange floor this has been. But fair enough. We have traversed it with relative ease. And we get 2 of these, which normally is a little scary, but right now they insta-died, which is pretty great. We get telekinesis for taking no damage, we get an old bandage, and there is an angel room with the circle of protection. And I don't think we can blow these up just yet, so we'll just leave those alone. But eventually we will be able to actually do something with those angel statues as well. So I look forward to that. For now, I will just speed this up a little bit by using my world card and try to run through these floors as quickly as possible. The damage that we're dealing is definitely helping out with that. This is not my favorite room in the world. I'm not great. Yeah, there we go. Occasionally these things do not want to work with you, and that causes to lose quite a bit of our damage, unfortunately. But whatever. All in all, I'd rather go to this secret room, or item room rather. Once again lose our range, which is not great. Converter, I might as well pick it up just so I've touched it because I usually never bother with it. And if we could get something great, like a good card for the next floor, then I'm pretty much guaranteed to reach the boss rush. But with the amount of time that we'll be spending on this floor, I'm not feeling too worried about it, provided that my build works with me a little bit here. I can also go into my curse room now because I've already taken damage, so I might just do that just in case, because there might be good things in there. Let's just get that chest before we do that, though. Makes it a little bit easier if you could just fly past it. Unfortunately, not the best curse room in the world, but that's fine. We only have 2 bombs because of that. Bombs are key pill, but that's not amazing, but we do have some pretty decent speed already, so I will just blow that up and try to do that without taking damage. It's a little bit fiddly, but not impossible. That speed down that you get from this is pretty rough, but not too bad if you already had a speed up, which we did. So I'm just gonna have to move a little bit slower, but all in all, I'm not too concerned about that. Watch out for the spiky wall, and there is a moon card, which is not bad. I will take that and then quickly fight the adversary. Now with the adversary, you mostly just want to stay close to him because he has this brimstone attack, which he fires in a certain direction. And if you start moving in a 90-degree angle around him after he starts doing that, then usually you're not in trouble. But that brings us to the depths too. Hopefully we can clear this out nice and quick before we run out of time. We can very safely go in here because we have a lot of keys available. That's pretty good. That might be it. No, it wasn't enough, unfortunately. There is the backpack, which allows us to carry another active item, which is not bad. We'll just take the hermit card, I think. And we'll try to go through this floor as quickly as possible. I might just use my Bible there to save some time there, because that room is not great. But I think after clearing the boss rush, I might revisit the floor using that hermit card and try to get a few more things along the way. Because, well, I'd like to just hurry up, really. And there might be some soul hearts and things. My health is not great, and my range is pretty terrible because I took the number 1 without really getting any range up, so hopefully we can deal with that somehow. Plus, so far the floor is not really working with me, but we still have 3 minutes remaining, and we can more or less insta-kill the boss on this floor, so still not too concerned. And even if we don't make it, we can always try another time since we still have plenty of things to do with this character in later runs as well. So no concerns at all. That fire deals so much damage. Not actually sure if the fire damage is based on your tier damage or not, but it might as well be. Because I would understand that much damage with Cricket's head and stuff, but just dealing that much damage with the normal fire every single time that you play this game, like that seems pretty wild. Because that fire is just insta-killing things. And fires in this game are pretty good, honestly, but to have it be this good, that seems unreal to me. I would actually like to play that machine. And we can't carry Monstro's Tooth because we do have the backpack after all. It's not the greatest active item to carry around, I suppose, but it's better than nothing. You can land on an enemy and it usually destroys them, so that's nice. Unfortunately, these enemies have 2 phases, as you can see right there. Let's just try to deal with that last poop. Never really feel very confident in rooms like this because I always end up doing that, unfortunately. But there is the boss. I still have... well, I have about a minute and a half to go, so I'm actually going to play this machine a little bit. In the hope that I can get at least 1 soul heart or something like that. Like that, yeah. Hey, that's actually really good, because that... really? I would have thought I would have picked up 3 items to unlock stuff for that right now, but maybe I misunderstood how that unlock works. Anyway, I will just real quick go do the mom fight now. I'm feeling pretty good about the health I have. There we go. We unlocked the halo for using the Bible during this fight, and also the fight is over immediately. Which is obviously pretty great. We still have plenty of time here, so we can decide whether or not we want Lord of the Pit or Spirit of the Night. They are both part of the Leviathan transformation, but I don't think I have any other of the items of that transformation. So, do I want Spectral Tears or do I want Speed? I think I'd rather have Spectral Tears. But having the flight available is pretty great. Makes life a little safer, unless I just use the Bible, I suppose, but not going to be too worried. Okay, I assume that this should at least count as 3 stars items with that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I need to look up how that unlock works because I'm clearly not getting it, but I'll see about that some other time. For now, just going to focus on the boss rush. We unfortunately do not have gigantic brimstone this time around, so we're going to have to try a little bit harder, but we do have a large quantity of flames on our side this time. So that is going to help out quite significantly with the dealing of damage to these enemies right here. But it is going to take a second. It is not the quickest thing in the world to do, since there are a lot of bosses to fight, but when your damage is quite so high, it's still at least a little bit quicker than it ordinarily would be. That enemy as well, you can use bombs when it's charging towards you. We unlock the cellar for beating basement bosses a bunch, I think is what unlocks it. And this is why I like to have Spectral Tears for stuff like this, because I could just hang out above these rocks and not have to worry. Watch out for this one red poop over here as well. I can almost certainly see myself running into it later. But other than that, this will be over before you know it if it keeps going at this rate. That red poop can also destroy bosses pretty well, so if we just sort of stand on that side of it, usually enemies will just run into it. There's an angel here, which we haven't actually seen outside of the boss rush yet, I don't think so. We'll see those at some point, but not just yet, unfortunately. It's still a couple runs away before we can get to those kinds of shenanigans, I think. But that's fine. We'll get there when we get there. For now, it is simply a matter of doing as much as we can, which is a limited amount, if I'm being honest, but that is just the life of early Isaac runs. There is a red heart and blue heart right there, and it did say in a previous run that it heals both, but at least I sort of interpreted it myself that way when I re-listened to it later, and it isn't really healing both. You get either red heart healing, or if you already have full red hearts, you get a soul heart out of it, so it's still pretty great, but maybe not as great as I had advertised previously. But it does mean we get another soul heart since we are still full on red hearts as well. And that is always a nice deal. Just stand on the side of this one because he shoots a brimstone attack. Otherwise, if he gets the chance and you don't deal a million damage, just pin somewhere in there. Yeah. If only one boss appears, usually you know someone's hiding from you underground or at the very top of the arena. And that was the case for this as well. Also, sometimes you might be seeing tears travel towards me, but they suddenly just disappear, and that's because of the flames, because the flames also work as a defensive mechanism. And the mystery gift has appeared in the basement for some reason or another. I genuinely have no idea why, but some unlocks are just tied to doing stuff and things. And I fully accept unlocking them. There's Cain's other eye unlocked. We get another part of the Lord of the Fly transformation. And finishing it as well. So that's pretty cool. And I will just hermit out of there. To a greed, which is unfortunate. Wouldn't have minded another shop. I will take that crystal ball, I think. Because I think that will be rather useful. Compared to the monstrous tooth that I still have at my disposal. Even though the Bible isn't really going to do much for us anymore because we already have flight. It also works against the mom's heart fight, so I would rather keep that because I'm definitely going to forget that I picked up monstrous tooth. And how it did work. Maybe touching it isn't actually enough for that achievement. Ah, fair enough. Anyway, that unlocked planetariums, which are rooms we will see in a future run at some point, probably. But apparently you do need to actually be holding the active item for that to count towards the 3 items that you need for it. And I actually didn't know that, so that's actually kind of good to know. Specifically for me, for this case, which is almost certainly never going to be relevant again. But, you know, it's still kind of neat, I suppose. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to push one of these bombs to that secret room, but I'm certainly going to try. Even though it seems a bit ambitious, but it does seem like this might work. There we go. Who needs bombs when you have a lot of patience instead? I should remember to blow up the shopkeepers with my flame as well, because I don't know what I want from it. I don't think I can actually get anything other than money right now, because I don't think I have anything unlocked that they could drop otherwise, but yeah, don't worry about it. This trinket as well, didn't really mention it. It's pretty great, but I don't have bombs because that's really the main use. You can open doors with bombs that you could ordinarily only open with keys. And that's a Hierophant card right there. That's pretty good. I'm just going to play this for a second. But yeah, it's a pretty good trinket. It has some uses for much later as well, but for now, I'm happy with what I have. And now I'll just learn to live with it. Also, there is the, what's it called? The paperclip trinket, which is the trinket I was talking about earlier. You can actually start every run with that particular trinket if you have that unlocked in greed mode. I got a lot of things from this. That's pretty cool. And this actually isn't a bad trinket either, because healing half a heart while after clearing a room, that can be very useful if you have a very red heart heavy build, but this time around I'm just gonna go with the Empress and I will keep on going because I am bored of gambling machines. And instead, I'd rather go finish this run. I kind of hope I'm not going to get a devil deal on this floor so I can once again go to Satan, but it is unlikely that it's going to happen every single time, but we'll see what happens this time, I suppose. There's a couple of eyes here, which is the main danger. Even though that guy in the middle had big old eyes and big old eye stalks, I suppose. He's not too scary if you don't worry about it too much, which, you know what, it's fair enough if you do worry about him a little bit. It does look rather unusual, but mostly you should just be worried about his well-being, I suppose. Now, since we have the paperclip, I can open that for free. And we get a part of the mom transformation as well. But also another soul heart and another luck up. Eventually, we won't have to think about how we lost that perfect score report card. So that's nice. We can use our crystal ball for a map. Now, I believe the Lucky Foot removes the actual negative stat downs, but it doesn't remove things that are classified as neutral pills or something like that. I couldn't really find out what is classified as a neutral pill, but I believe it's stuff like Telepills and Lemon Party and stuff like that, so there is a couple of pills still in my pill pool that won't really do much of anything for me, but the positives definitely outweigh the negatives, I would say. Bombs are key. Not terrible, actually, since we won't need keys as much, since it's unlikely we're going to find locked doors from this point on. Plus we have the paperclip as well, so we never really will need to worry about keys for golden chests either. But occasionally you might find something like a library or a dice room or something in these floors, so it can be nice to have whichever you want. Shouldn't have destroyed all those shopkeepers if I was trying not to get a devil deal, I suppose, but you know what, that one's on me. We'll see what happens, but I don't know. I'm feeling lucky enough to not get one. Feeling good. Loki's horns for destroying Loki probably. And we actually didn't get a devil deal, so that's honestly pretty good. And we have half red hearts, half soul hearts. So aesthetically speaking, that is just a nice quantity of things that we currently have. Probably should have taken that bombs or key pill, thinking about it now. I will just play the shell game for a while, even though I couldn't remember the word shell game. Yesterday, I think it was, so might as well do this. Also, because we have Lord of the Flies, every time we lose, we are going to actually get a blue fly, because the enemy it would ordinarily spawn is friendly to us because of that transformation. So that is wonderful. We really cannot actually get anything bad out of this, and I'm not sure how many times you're supposed to actually play this thing. Plus we can get the item as well if we're somewhat lucky. This is going to befriend every single fly in the world pretty much, so yeah, we really just don't have to worry about flies anymore, so that's pretty great. I might keep that Hierophant instead of the Empress. Although at the same time, I'm not really that concerned about my health, but it's nice to know that there is 2 soul hearts on this floor, I suppose. But let us move on. Now that we have the map, we can tell where we have to go, and it's either pretty far away, or we can take a pretty decent shortcut through the arcade room here, which is pretty great. Let's just put that judgment there as well for the extra devil deal chance, and hopefully there is a shopkeeper in there also, so we can really raise that as high as possible to something like 90 or 95%. We shall see what is available. It is super greed, so that is not a shopkeeper. There might be one in our super secret room though, so that might actually be worth going for right now. But we'll see what we get, I suppose. But once again, even though these eyes protect him, don't worry too much about it and you'll be entirely okay. That one had spikes on it. Didn't really take note of it, but that's fine. Could go back for that Hierophant card to heal back up, but at the same time, I'm feeling confident enough that we might get another heart from our crystal ball later. And that's good enough for me, if I'm being completely honest. There's a couple places where a super secret room could be, which is genuinely all over the place. So I probably won't try too much given our low bomb count. But that works as well. Didn't get a thing, unfortunately, but that's fine. Might as well give the key beggar a couple of keys. Usually it doesn't take that many keys to get him to give stuff. And even if he does drop locked chests, once again, we have the paperclip, so I'm not too worried about just giving him everything we have and just not getting anything in return. There's the Callus, which is good if you don't have flight, but we do have flight. So I will just take this midnight snack and call it a day. Even though he took all of our keys and didn't really give much in return, at least he ended up healing us. And sometimes that'll just have to make do. There is a bombs or key pill there. And with Mom's Heart, we can just press the Bible button and end the fight right there. And we did get a devil deal. So maybe one day we'll see one of the chest endings. I could just play all of them in a row once we've unlocked all of them, but for now we're just going to keep going to the devil. For now we unlock Transcendence, we get another challenge, we get another baby for fighting Mom's Heart with Cain. And we have a map that leads us to the boss to the top left right there. It's a pretty decent way away, but we should be able to make that just fine. I think also there is an unlock for not taking damage on this floor. It's either this floor or the one after this that we currently do not have access to yet. And that's also, this one, I did call the womb probably the trickiest, but this one might be up there as well actually, because I just haven't done this floor that much. It used to be in the previous expansions that after clearing Satan, it was usually just more preferable to go in the other direction, which we haven't seen yet, but we'll see it at some point. However, since Repentance, there is a little bit more reason to go to the lower floors as well, but that'll be explained in a later video once we unlock the necessary items for that. For now though, let's just try to do this one last room without taking damage. Hopefully we can clear the boss there as well, but the boss is a tricky one, so I definitely wouldn't be surprised if we take some damage during it. But let us see what we can do. We can use our Empress card immediately. Yeah, that does kind of throw off my timing though, so I'm just going to do my best there. It was still proper, so good enough, I suppose. And let's just throw a whole bunch of flames right there. Please don't brimstone me. Very good. Now we only have one more phase with a lot of bombs getting thrown all around us. And that did so much damage. So with that, I will just end this run just in case there is that achievement for not taking damage on this floor. All in all, went pretty good. Not at all disappointed by how that went. We unlocked super special rocks, which I think is the unlock for getting 3 wins in a row with 3 different characters. I might have to verify that, but if nothing shows up on screen that says otherwise, then it's probably true. I don't think there was an achievement for doing that floor without taking damage, so it might just be the one after that, which is fair enough. We at least got some more progress towards our negative right there. Only 2 more to go, I believe, before we unlock the full thing. We got another character that has defeated Satan. And yeah, all in all, just had a pretty good time with it. So I hope you've enjoyed it so far, and next time we play, I'd do grade mode actually. I haven't done grade mode yet, and I've got a hankering for it. But I hope to see you all there. Bye bye.